come together with activists, authors, elders, and wisdom keepers, over 30 leaders in all, in one place in this profoundly co-creative moment, a time when people of all traditions and races are being called to come together to explore and rediscover what it means to be human, and to reorient to this new cycle.
Almost universally, ancient texts and traditions tell us that we're living an extraordinary time in the history of our civilization and the history of Earth. For the bulk of my adult life as a scientist, I have done my very best to understand precisely what our ancestors were telling us for over 5,000 years through their temples and texts, through the traditions, the spiritual traditions that they left for us. They were telling us something in their language that affects us in our time today. But the question is what? What did they know that we've forgotten? And how can our understanding of their traditions really benefit us in our lives today?
I think that all of us have this longing to know and to understand the great mystery. And I think, and I feel, and I know in my heart that we look around us and sometimes we don't know how to translate that longing. But it's very simple, because everything we want to know is right here. This is the key. The heart is the key to that mysterious language.
It's allowable in adolescence to refuse dialogue. It's allowable in adolescence to not want to lose your power to the greater power. But that's adolescent behavior. Our politicians should know better if we're to build a peaceful culture of peace in our societies. We have to have dialogue. We have to have responsible dialogue. We have to engage even when we feel threatened by it. So it's permissible for adolescents, but too many adolescents in politics these days.
There's a whole bunch of trivia that a person carries with them on a daily basis that it's basically just trivia, but it occupies the memory. It occupies the hard drive, if you can use that metaphor. The whole notion about tacit infrastructures is to try and clear the table. As these Zen philosophers say, hey, you're not going to learn anything because your brain is, your teacup is full. And that's what David Bohm speaks to, is how about if we lay those things aside, at least for the time being.
And the women I know who are 50, 60, 70, into their 80s now, are so dynamic. And they're a new phenomenon. We didn't live this long before. Or we had 10 children and 15 grandchildren. It was a total engagement in survival and reproduction. Now, we're shifting from procreation to co-creation, from self-reproduction to self-evolution. So aging changes when your creativity grows.
Because everybody in the circle gets a little piece of the information. There have been about 12 people there, and it's almost like running something through a computer, the question, and then the computer puts all the answers together for the question. And then the old man sitting in the front there who's leading the ceremony, he says, okay, here's the computer printout. This is the answer. And then he said, this is what a real democracy is like. Everybody gets to input their information.
Hunwinak means one person or a character or a human being who has the 20 fingers and toes. 10 in your fingers, 10 in your toes. And this is the 20 days that's the same as the Mayan calendar. So the Mayan calendar is the same as our human body.
Dancing Earth, recipients of the National Museum of American Indians 2010 Expressive Arts Award, will be performing at the conference. The following presenters will also be contributing to the event. For more information and to register for the Wisdom from the Origins Conference, visit the Seed Graduate Institute website at www.seedgraduateinstitute.org.